All right, good morning, everyone. This is lesson 4, solving equations with variables on both sides. We did this last week, but we are going to expand on it. Learning target: I can justify, create, and solve algebraic equations with relevant content. So basically, we're solving equations with word problems, and this key word here is justify. We're going to have to write out our steps. So here's our first two examples. Here's a problem. I've already written the steps out. I'm going to go through the problem as I read the steps. So part 1 or step 1 would be subtract 2x from both sides. So there's a 2x, there's a 3x. I'm going to do what the first step says, and then I'm going to rewrite everything. Okay, step 2 says add 4 to both sides, so I've got to take the opposite. And I should have said add 4 to both sides to isolate the variable. This becomes a 0. I'm left over with x equals 7, and that's my last step. X, the variable, equals 7. Let's go to the second example. Again, I have negative 2x and an x. The first step says add 2x to both sides. Rewrite the problem. Okay, let's take a look at the second step. It says subtract 7 to isolate the variable. I'm going to subtract 7 here. Cancels. Rewrite. Careful right here. That is a negative 3. And then I'm going to last step says divide by 3 to get x isolated. And then x equals negative 1. So that's what they mean by justifying. Now let's go down and look at some word problems. Okay, it's got an A and a B. Let's read it. It says a A1 plumbing service charges $35 per hour and a $25 travel fee for service call. Good Guys Repair charges $40 per hour for the service call with no travel charge. A travel charge means it's a one-time fee. Per hour means obviously how many hours they work. So the first thing I need to do is set up equations for each company. AI company, I'm going to call them, A1. Their equation is going to be y equals 35x for the hourly fee plus 25. Now let's look at that. 35x is the hourly fee. Travel charge is 25. Say to yourself, what does that x represent? That's going to represent the number of hours. Let's do the second company. I'm going to put G for Good Guys. They only charge 40 per hour. So I'm just going to say y equals 40x. No service charge, so that stays 40x. The first question says, if a service call takes 3 hours, which company has the better deal? Well, hours is represented by our x. So I'm just going to plug in 3. I think I said 30, but it's 3 hours. I'm going to plug that in for that equation. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in here too for this company. Okay, let's solve it. Distributive property, add 25. That's going to be $130 for that company. Distributive property is going to be $120. So obviously the second company has the better deal. Okay, second word problem. How long must the service call be for the two companies to charge the same amount? So the key is, excuse me, the same amount. So we're going to take the two equations and set them equal to each other. Here's company A1, and then the other company has an equation of 40x. The same amount, that reminds you to set them equal to each other. So now I'm just going to solve for x. Subtract 35x from both sides to get the variable isolated. And then I'm going to solve by dividing by 5. X equals 5. So what does that 5 mean? That 5 means the service call hours to be the same amount for each company. Okay. Page 2 is also a word problem. Talking about fitness centers. Mike's Fitness Center charges $30 per month. We'll put M for Mike. Y equals 30. X. The other company charges $22 per month plus an $80 fee. That $80 fee, I'm going to put all day. Y equals 22 per hour plus 80. So those are the equations. Let's see what the question says. After 10 months, which gym is more expensive? So let's plug in 10 months is represented by X. I'm going to go ahead and divide these up. Put a 10 in for that company. And then let's put a 10 in for that company. Make sure I got this right. 22, 10, plus 80. Okay. Distributed property. $300 after 10 months. That's also going to be $300. So they charge the same amount after 10 months of being with that fitness center. So the second question says, how many months will it take how many months will the total amount paid to fitness clubs be the same? So again, same is the key word. I'm going to take both equations and set them equal to each other. Then we're going to solve for X. Cancel out the 22s, raise it up a little bit. 8x equals 80. Divide by 8. X equals 10. We're going to say 10 months. So in 10 months, both amounts will be the same, and that pretty much is what this question was up here. So there's your justifying your two-step equations lesson.